Is Kerry saying she's cold, or is she just speculating about the size of Lucian's manhood? Little one, apparently. Oh, no, I don't know I said that, sorry. Who knows? Darren has a very pretentious way of saying he just had a wank.
I feel like I've had an immaculate conception.
And the first trailer for Strictly is released, and it's not looking good. Oh, bless it. He tried, though, at least. He tried. Tonight's panel is sweeter than a barrel of M&Ms. First up, we've got the model mum who's one of Kez's bezzers. It's Nicola McLean. Next, a state visit from Big Brother royalty. It's only Big Brother's little brother's cousin's Nick Bateman. And a bit of blue steel for the panel tonight. One of the UK's most in-demand models. He's so hot right now. From Dirty Pretty Things, it's Jay. Things get a little bit hairier down that end of the panel. It's Derbyshire's answer to Perez Hilton. Journalist of sorts, Jamie East. I love you, Jamie East.
I know you.
I do. Right, so we talk about tonight's show, the one that we've just watched. We could only really talk about one thing, the big split, of which there have been two. So let's start with the first one. Nick, did you realise that Edward and John would miss each other so much?
I wish, actually, they'd been split from the very start of the show.
Do you?
It's far more interesting.
Yeah.
I think it kind of could be a bit of acting. It's only 30 yards apart.
What do you think is acting?
I think they're both kind of acting. They're missing each other because obviously they're so close. But I think it would be far better from the very start of the show they've been separated.
I quite liked them separated, though.
Yeah, because you want to get to know them as individuals, not as as one. And
I loved. Sorry.
All you're seeing them as one person.
Yeah.
And it's better to have two than one.
What did you think of Edward in the diary room? Nicola, sorry, Nicola.
I totally disagree with you. Sorry, I would do, wouldn't I? I love them together. I just don't think they would have been as cheeky and as fun as they have been apart because I thought what the diary room chat with Edward showed us is that they're really quite insecure apart. You know, when he was saying, you know, I feel like everyone's watching me, they wouldn't have done those outrageous things solo that they did together.
It sounds like he kind of not hides behind John, but he kind of, you know, John's very much the front man and Edward is very much behind.
They hide behind Jedward, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, we don't really know them singularly.
I did love seeing him in the diary room on his own, though, as Edward, and hearing him talk normally and not going, because it's Jedward, okay, and it's okay. It was just kind of him talking like he is. What do you guys think?
I think that I disagree with Nick saying to separate them at the beginning because we wouldn't have had the toast tower and all the fun with the sweets and the shopping task and all that.
So, of all the things you could have brought up, you brought the toast tower.
I love the toast tower. But I think that it's good that they've separated them now at this stage because it is nice to see them as separate characters before we get too irritated by them.
Oh, I don't... See, I thought I'd be really irritated by them, but I'm a born-again Jedward lover. I really like them. Right, let's talk about the other big split. Take a look at this homage to the greatest love story of our time. Yes!
Yeah! You're an amazing girl and I'd love to go out with you outside this house.
Oh, God.
Do you fancy me?
Yes, big time.
He's only in bed with Amy Childs.
So what happened under the sheets?
Oh, my balls!
I feel the sexual tension, can't
Cut with a knife.
I don't fancy Lou.
She's all right. She's got me doing the run around.
It's like my best mate.
I'm not chasing him, it's fine. You're not interested, it's fair enough. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think I'd be interested in you, but I am. This is you shutting me down.
See what I said to you, me and your mates, that's all I've said to you.
You kind of got me under a little bit of a spell at the moment, and it's pissing me off, because I can't shake you.
I can't shake you, I can't shake you, I love you, I can't shake you. That was to you, Jamie. I love you, I can't shake you. So was Lucian a puppy to Amy?
Only the same. I mean, I've got a puppy, and he spends all his time roughly dry humping inanimate objects in the garden too. So in that sense, yeah, he's not coming across, not doing himself any favours at all. I don't think he's coming across as a bit of a wuss.
Who, Jay, held the power? Do you think between Lucian and Amy?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Jamie. Jay, don't start.
Yeah. Have you not seen him on the weekend? He just causes trouble.
I've got Nick, it's all right.
Who holds the power?
It's switched between them both. Like, Amy started out like, yeah, I'm gonna have this conversation.
Yeah.
Lucian took over, and then it switched straight back. It's like, Amy, grab them by the balls and just get in there.
So do you believe this romance? Do you think there's anything in it?
No, they're stuck in the house together. Look at everyone.
It's purely just because they're in a house and they're having a little bit of fun. Now, Nick, Lucian has said that the boys believe he was chasing a lost cause. Do you think it was doomed from the start?
Yeah, I think it was. He's kind of like one of these guys in a nightclub that goes around to each different girl and gets blown away.
Well, we've seen him go around each different girl in the house.
And finally settles on one that he's not really interested. I think, he's gone for Pamela, he's gone for Kerry, he's gone for Amy, and he just doesn't know which one he likes.
Did he really go for Kerry, though, do you think? Or do you think they're just mates, aren't they, I think?
I think Kerry treats him like a little sort of pet, somebody to cuddle, somebody to give a quick kiss to. But it's nothing serious. I don't think she honestly took him very seriously as a romantic hope.
OK. Now, Lucian's kind of been using some cliches. He has been saying, I can't shake you. And you've shut me down. Do you think? Do you think this is so that he comes across as the victim, and that everyone starts to feel bad on Amy?
I don't think so, because I don't think he's intelligent enough to do that. So I think that. I think that he's using those lines because it obviously works in the nightclubs where he goes, because they're horrific and really embarrassing. And I don't see how they possibly could work. I can see Amy's face and she's like looking at him like, really?
She does seem quite baffled by the whole thing, like, I think he likes me. Now I don't really know if he likes me, and he seems to like me again, and I'm just confused by the whole thing.
Doesn't she? She thinks he's acting. So I think Amy's genuinely confused, I think.
OK, we've got a little piece of footage of Lucian, which was filmed before he went into the house, and it might change some people's minds.
Have you ever been attracted to a cartoon character?
Yeah, yeah.
Which one?
Red hair, big tits, Roger Rabbit's missus.
Amy Charles?
Oh, come off it, mate. No.
So is he just playing a game?
Yeah. I think he's always keeping his options open. As if Amy doesn't want him, he'll go to Kerry, and then when Kerry's like, what should I do? And then when Amy gets jealous, he'll go back to Amy when she knows that he actually has feelings for her. So.
OK, anybody think he's not playing a game? Anybody think this is really him?
I kind of think he's a 19-year-old lad, and he's got a lot, I was going to say spunk left in him. But, I mean, like...
Do you know what? A lot worse things have been said on this show, so spunk is kind of OK. And we do have that dog that seems to do things every now and then. As well. It wheezes, apparently, they're shouting down here. It wheezes. Nicola, you know Kerry. What do you make of her being so honest to Amy?
I wouldn't expect anything less. She's quite, Kerry's quite like that. And I think Amy needed it. It's true what Kerry said. So, yeah, that's Kerry. She is quite honest.
She wasn't so honest to Lucian, though, when Lucian was kind of playing a bit of a game with Amy a couple of weeks ago.
Well, I think that Kerry's got a soft spot for Lucian.
Do you think?
Just and I've got a cheek to say he's not intelligent. No, I do think she's leaning towards more of the Lucian camp than the Amy camp. But, what she said to Amy was right. Whether she said it to him or not, what she said to Amy was right. So I didn't expect her not to say it.
OK, does anybody think Amy just wants attention? Yes. Oh, you keep saying yes, yes, and I never get over to you.
I know. Yeah, she's young and she likes attention. And I think Lucian's the type of guy that I would have went for when I was 19 and would have broke my heart, and he would have fucked my best friend.
So therefore, aren't they both as bad as each other? Because they both want a little bit of attention. They're both young. They're both kind of hot. Jay, Team Amy or Team Lucian?
Oh, I have to stay with Amy, don't I?
Yeah, of course you do. Let's have a show of hands. Team Amy?
I'm going to vote both.
You can't vote both. And Team Lucian? I think Amy's just got it. Amy's just got it. And finally, Jamie, Disney World, Florida or Disneyland Paris?
I don't know, I can't really decide. They both seem like Mickey Mouse operations to me.
Oh! That's why you get paid the little bucks. We'd love to hear from you guys. As always, don't forget to vote in tonight's poll. Disneyland Paris or Disney World Florida. What do you think? Details are on the screen below. Coming up after an exhausting week hooked to the internet researching the latest sensual activities in the house, resident sexpert John McCrick will be here to share his findings. Show ripe and ready for a good squeeze. Now it's that time of the week when we like to steam things up and take a look at all the latest amorous adventures from the house. So who better to take us on a trip to the erogenous zone?
I know I'm sexy. I've had plenty of sex. I know how ladies work and what they like.
Please welcome the king of all things carnal, Mr. John McCrick. Come on, John. Is that I sent you to sleep?
No.
Oh, you invited me to bed. John, thank you very much. Come and have a seat. Are you all right, John?
Absolutely fantastic, and seeing you makes it even better.
Really?
Close up, yes.
Oh, bless you. Now, I see that you've brought a friend with you this week, John.
The problem is, anybody watching this is computer literate. I have never seen the internet, don't know what a fax is or a tweet is. I don't know what these things are. So what I've done, I got my mate Christian to come along. He is a genius, a real nerd. You've heard of computer nerds. This is the ultimate nerd.
OK, so you are John's sexual stat man.
I am, yes.
And what does that exactly mean?
It means I analyse all the mentions of Celebrity Big Brother and I return all that information and I create graphs out of it.
Now, you analyse this over like 8 million websites, right?
Yeah, and...
8 million websites? That's ridiculous.
Yes, and some social media channels which cannot be named.
OK, and you, there's like 1.5 million mentions that you've analysed,
yes.
And that's where all these stats have come from.
That's correct, yeah.
OK, brilliant. Right, so, John, I'm going to ask you the first question. I think I already know the answer to it, to be fair, but are you a bum, leg or breast man?
Well, look at yours. You are blooming. I tell you, every time I'm on, they get bigger and bigger. I know they do. The colt or the filly that you have is going to feast magnificently. They are. It's going to be wonderful. They are fantastic.
Okay,
they are fantastic.
Enough about mine, John.
And they're natural.
Yes, they are. They're very real.
Fantastic.
Enough about mine, but out of the housemates, bum, legs or breasts?
Yes. Oh, well, you've got to go for the breasts, obviously. And I don't like... There's Amy, hers are fourth. I cannot stand... They feel harder, don't they? They haven't got the... Remember... I tell you, you know all about Bruv. Remember Leslie from
I do remember Leslie, yeah.
She was a magnificent woman.
Sergeant Sexy?
Yeah, I hope they have in the new Bruv one with really gigantic natural ones. No, that's what we want. You must satisfy we perverts who want to live on the breast. What a place to be.
Christian, are the people of Britain in agreement with John?
Well, I'm having trouble turning the pages. They're a bit sticky. I think John got carried away. But unfortunately, no, the great British public prefer bums.
Oh, John!
Absolutely appalling. And the great thing about breasts is cleavage sex. Now, it is fantastic. No. You talk about safe sex. It's fantastic. Right, the man gets slightly more sort of excitement and got more satisfaction from cleavage sex. Not so much for the women, but if everybody indulges in cleavage sex, well, you can do that once or twice, good fun. But cleavage sex is safe, natural, and good.
Okay. Let's move on briskly.
Yes.
I know you're not on this team, but who is the most fanciful man in the house, in your opinion?
Well, it's certainly not Bobby. Bobby went in as Bobby Who. He's coming out as Bobby Boredom. And any girl that fancies him, he must be so boring in bed because he's useless as far as the house is concerned. Not Bobby, certainly.
It's always the quiet ones you've got to watch, John.
Oh, no,
Stallions.
No. He is so dreary and dull. He's appalling, he is. I would have thought the most fanciful must be Lucien. And I love Lucien because he was like me as a 19-year-old playing the game.
Christian,
wonderful.
Who do the public think? Who is the most fanciful?
Actually, Jedward.
Jedward?
I've topped the poll. Yes. I know, strange. Mostly around people want to marry them. But Lucien was a very close second. And it's quite interesting if you look at when they went into the house, Lucien had a massive peak of interest. And Bobby was in second place.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to draw your attention to is Bobby, after Sweatgate, his fanciability factor just dropped.
So he peaked just before?
Yeah.
Right, OK.
And some of the tweets were quite interesting around Bobby. Things like, Bobby bores me. He is fit, though, smiley face.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Bobby to stay in the Big Brother house. He looks too hot topless. Not my words.
So fickle is what we're saying.
Yeah, but the amazing thing is Jedward on top. Now, Jedward in the house had not tried to pull a single girl, and not a single girl has tried to chat them up.
They're gentlemen, though.
Oh, little
Let's
girls,
talk about
what
sexy
are you
women.
going to get if you date one of the Jedwards?
John,
Nothing.
let's talk about sexy women, because
Yeah.
I know you like sexy women. Who is the sexiest woman in the house, in your opinion?
Well, it has to be Kerry. She's a really a nice, good, decent girl. She's got no wickedness in her. She's lived. Imagine the experience and the lessons Lucien would learn. A night with Kerry, he would come back a man.
Yes, he certainly would. Do the people of Britain agree?
No, 50%, nearly 50% gone for Amy.
Amy.
And what's quite interesting is Amy had a couple of good peaks early on, and that's kept her through the whole...
But
got it in.
Yeah, but she does have a couple of peaks, but they're phony, false peaks. And imagine Amy without her body. If she didn't have her body, all she got her hair, she's flopping back, no brain inside there, nothing.
John, that's mean.
Nobody's telling the truth.
John, that's really mean.
You want to be stimulated by a woman.
I think she's got a
Amy
fabulous
stimulate
brain.
you? Fabulous
No,
brain.
I do. I think she's lovely.
Even you're brighter than Amy.
John McQuarrie. I've enough with Lauren Harries. I don't need you starting as well. Now, let's talk about Darren's abs. Can anybody actually find them attractive?
I'd never heard of that.
Just say yes.
Well, how about seeing mine? Now, now look at
How
this.
about these ones?
Say, well, that's what you want. No, compared to that.
Christian, what do the public think?
Well, it was a big contentious talking point, and there was over 20,000 mentions, but actually 70% of those mentions were negative, but actually nearly a quarter were positive. So people actually liked his abs.
They liked his abs, or they were intrigued by his abs?
Like a freak show, I think people were intrigued around the process and maybe wanted to get it done themselves.
As to how it happened.
Yeah, but go and put a pin in them, would they explode? And you've got to ask the question as well, are plastic surgeons round the nation being besieged by men who want those kind of abs?
John, I've got one very important question for you. Do you want to see Rumpy Pumpy in the house?
Of course you do. A good bit of sex. We're all perverts. We're all voyeurs. But you are magnificent. They're getting bigger every day. Fantastic. Aren't they fantastic?
Christian, do the good people of this country...
Oh, no, they are magnificent. No, they are.
Want to see sex in
that? I'd like to see sex now.
That's outrageous. Unfortunately, no, we're a prudish bunch. Over 50% don't want to see sex in the house. We're a nation of romantics. In fact, 95% of people want to see romance in the house.
See, I'm like that. I'm a romantic as well. I want to see romance, but I don't want to see no sex, John.
No, but sex is at the end of it. But we aren't in the house now. no, but we aren't in the house now. We can have sex now. Now!
OK, John, let me read the final link and then we'll go to it. John McQuarrie,
booing, boo! Booing, booing,
Christian, thank you very much.
That's all right.
So we are, of course, down to our final 7 housemates in this year's Celebrity Big Brother. The word celebrity stretched ever so slightly in some cases. Here's a reminder of their day jobs when they were not just sitting around a Boreham Wood car park.
You have 10 seconds to tell me why you are famous. Go.
I've no idea. I'm not that famous, but apparently most of you think I am famous, which is absolutely bloody ridiculous because my hair's famous, but me, as for fame, I'm Mr. Paparazzi!
I'm famous from being in a girl band, marrying a pop idol, having babies, having ups and downs, being all over the press and messing my life up.
I'd like to say I'm famous for Grange Hill, Coronation Street, Waterloo Road. I used to model with David Beckham as well, so somewhere in that, I guess someone decided to say I was famous.
We're famous because we're just famous. We're famous because of this. We're famous because we're hot. We're famous because we're Simon Cowell's best friends. We're
My name is Amy Childs. I'm famous for being on The Only Way is Essex, and I'm famous for the Vajazzling.
I'm not famous, but I guess I might be a little bit famous in my industry because I've done some posters that have been seen by lots of people. Was it a list of 10 or 10 things?
I'm probably glad I'm famous because of them. End of story.
On Thursday, only you can decide. Here are the numbers you need to vote for your winner, and we will see you after the break.
For Amy to win, call 09016 1617 or 1. For Bobby to win, call 09016 1617 or 2. For Darren to win, call 09016 1617 or 3. For Jedward to win, call 09016 1617 or 4. For Kerry to win, call 09016 1617 or 5. For Lucian to win, call 09016 1617 or 6. For Paddy to win, call 09016 1617 or 7. Calls cost 36p from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary, and from mobiles will cost considerably more. For details and terms, go to channel5.com/bigbrother. Voting closes in Thursday's final.
The show that strings you along with the promise of romance only to crush your hopes, much like the little boy who wants to go to Disney World but only gets to go to Disneyland Paris. Poor you. Now, time for a man who needs no introduction, so we didn't bother to write one for him. It's Nick Bateman. How are you, Nick?
Good, thank you.
Good. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure.
Right, you kind of know everything about Big Brother because you're in the first one, you're in the last one, and you've watched everything in between. So, what's the art in lasting so long? You were in the final of Ultimate, so you should know.
OK, I think there are 3 aspects. The first aspect is being a good housemate in the house, washing up, cleaning up, cooking for people, doing all of that. The second aspect is the first week you keep you're low-key. You don't react, you don't upset people, you don't argue with women in the house.
You don't write notes.
No, don't do that. And the third is be entertaining. But the crucial factor is the first week. If you're too big of a character, then often you alienate yourself with the public, and so you get voted off. And also you upset the other housemates. So it's low-key, be a good housemate, be entertaining.
So be a nice person, basically, but have something about you.
You have to have that likability factor that people go, I like this person. But sometimes if you're too good-looking or too charming, it can work against you because people go, you know, you're richer, better-looking than me, so therefore I don't like you.
Now, in Big Brother 1, you were very much nasty, Nick. And in Ultimate, you were very much not so nasty, Nick. So does a change in personality win you more votes?
I think it does. I think people like to see a real person in there. They can see, you know, if people are acting or people are behaving in a way that's contrary to how someone knows them. So I think you have to be true to yourself.
But sometimes, surely, I suppose a change in behaviour can go against.
Yeah, it can. I think it's such an extreme environment and people watch it and go, I wouldn't do that. But sometimes you do. It is quite stressful. You're lack of food, lack of sleep, and you're bored most of the time in there. So you do react to situations you wouldn't do in everyday life.
OK, so let's talk about Bobby. He's not one of the favourites, so what is the best course of action for him, do you think?
Well, I think the Sweatgate, if I'd have been the producer, I'd have kicked him out. I think what he did...
Really?
Yeah, what he did was assault. It was disgusting, it was unnecessary. I don't think Darren heard him correctly, and if I'd have been Darren, I'd have punched him and taken the consequences. Yeah.
It did kind of come from nowhere, but I think, I suppose there's no excusing it, but at least he did tell him in the end and apologise.
Well,
I was very surprised by Darren's reaction.
I think he didn't hear him. The whole thing is, I think for 1 minute, Bobby just went mad. He forgot he was in the house. Yeah. I think most of the people in the house are professional media people, and their agents will say, don't be too controversial, get on with people, and think about the long term.
OK, do you think Bobby should have had a game plan going into the house?
I think he must have had a game plan, but he is quite dull, and what he did was terrible.
What do you think his game plan was?
Well, I think it was just to sit there and look pretty and not say very much. He hasn't really contributed. I haven't seen him as a good housemate, and he hasn't been entertaining, so I don't know why he's in the final.
Is there anybody that you think does have a game plan and that it's working well for them?
Well, the people that don't have a game plan, I think Paddy comes over as a great guy. He doesn't need a game plan. I think the Jedward children don't have a game plan. They're lovely people. But I think the game players are definitely Darren, Amy, and those two, and Kerry are all game players. They know the business.
Why Amy?
Well, she knows that, she'll be in magazines. And
so it'll be cost-effective for her?
Yeah.
And what about why Darren?
Well,
you have a funny look on your face, Nick.
Although, he breeds off celebrities, also he needs publicity himself. So I think he went in with a plan, and him saying he doesn't or saying he has no game plan is nonsense. He now loves being in the limelight. And when he comes out, you'll probably see him more than most people out there.
What do you make of his allegiance with Paddy?
He is quite bright, Darren. He has to be for the business he runs. And I think he probably sees that Paddy will be very popular with the public, which is quite right. So sometimes you have to go or be friends with the most popular person in the house.
Did you do that intentionally with Victor when you went in?
No, because
Did you think that you two could be like the little naughty boys of the house?
No, because in our house, we knew that Brian was going to win the show from day one.
Really?
But we weren't that sycophantic enough to hang around him. We just thought, we'll enjoy ourselves. We're not going to win it, but we'll get on fine in the house and have some fun.
And it was kind of nice to see different sides to you, because you were both very much the villains in your respective years.
Yeah.
And then you were very lovely in Ultimate, so it was very nice. Nick, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Nick, from one big brother bad boy to another, and another, and another, with only 2 girls left standing, let's remind ourselves why the boys have bonded so well and ended up escaping eviction.
Boys. Boys.
We're human beings, we're not guinea pigs. Take this!
Let's get the lizard. I don't want a bit of that fella there.
He's lovely, man. He completely get on very well with it.
You're not like them in my life. They're the bollocks to the business.
Oh!
A complete fucking moron.
One man.
I think he a great bloke. Yeah, that's me.
Giddy up.
Yeah, good lads, you know what I mean?
I love a little bit of male bonding. Right, Jamie, why have... I just keep rubbing my tummy. Why have all the male housemates made it to the final?
Well, I think historically, not just in Big Brother, but in other lesser reality TV series, boys always get through to the final because it's girls voting, predominantly girls that vote.
Good point.
So it's either boys that win or girls that are not, can I say, overtly sexual or kind of like...
OK, so like Kate Lawler, she was very much
like
one of the
Kate or
lads,
Rachel
but
Rice
a lovely
or
girl
Josie,
and,
it's very much either a boy or a nice girl.
Do you agree with that, guys, as the people that vote for this
definitely.
show? As a woman as well?
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah? Anybody disagree? No, I agree. No? Jamie, you've just conquered the whole debate.
Makes a change.
Jay, you were in a reality show and you stirred up a little bit of trouble. Do you think that you would have made it to the end had you have been in Big Brother?
Don't want to be big-headed, but yeah, but I'm going to be. Yeah, no, I think I would have made it through. Well, I would have got a lot further than Bobby, but...
Why do you think all the men have made it to the end?
I just think that the guys are being quite real. So
Yeah.
they're just doing what they do, slobbing out, chilling out.
Okay. Slobbing out, chilling out, just being boys. Why do you think the boys have overpowered the girls, Nicola, from a girl's perspective?
I think that Darren's overpowered it a lot. So I think everyone seems to be, is the right saying, dancing to his tune? Is that the right thing to
Everyone's
say?
dancing to Darren's
Do you know what I mean?
tune.
So
Yeah,
Darren
yeah.
seems to be the one sort of the powerful guy, and all the guys are sort of going to him, and all the girls, like Amy's saying to him, oh, if you left, I wouldn't, you know, everyone seems to love him. So he seems to be sort of ruling the
He's
roost.
very much the leader of the house, isn't he?
Definitely.
I thought that Paddy would be more so, but they're kind of on a level, I think. But Paddy is a lot quieter and doesn't quite say as much.
I don't think Paddy cares as much, does he?
No.
He's just like, he's not going to put himself out there as much as Darren would.
So why do we think that the boys have gelled really well, yet the girls didn't really bond? Anybody?
I think the girls are too worried about offending each other. Like with Pamela and Tara, they were very... I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone, but, you know... And I think they're really aware of that, but the guys are just like, oh, yeah, like Bobby was saying, I can't be
And the
around
other thing is
people.
Pamela, I'm American, nobody knows who she is. We knew her husband was, but we didn't know who she was.
Yeah. Do you think maybe a little bit of female insecurity as well, Nicola?
Definitely. I don't, do you know what?
All of a sudden all the women go, yes, definitely, definitely.
I don't think that that's the case. I think with Pamela and Tara, they're just, they're American and just, they were so kooky, it was just a joke. Not saying Americans are kooky, but like, they were just, they are, yeah. They were just so far out there, it was ridiculous. And then Amy and Kerry have obviously known each other for, you know, for a while, and I think that they're just worried to get into too much of friendship for other reasons.
Okay.
And I don't think that there's been many opportunities for... There isn't girls that get on that well. Do you know what I mean? They haven't got the same interests. You know, Kerry's sitting there in a bobble hat and Amy's got rollers in her hair.
Yeah,
you know,
it's slightly different. They're from different places.
I think also it's normally guys are in competition with each other, but it seems the roles have been reversed. Thank you.
They all kind of get on quite well, don't they?
Yeah, it seems the girls are more in competition with each other, and the guys are just going, hey, let's enjoy it.
Jay, you're a male model, as we know, as is Bobby. Do you think it may be detrimental to his career that he is now branded a Big Brother housemate?
I don't think it's going to affect him in a negative or positive way. I think it depends on his reaction as when he comes out and how he acts and what stories are said about him post.
Is he going to be able to continue being just a kind of a cool model? Because you'll see him in a magazine and he'll just go, oh, there's the dude.
Are like big brands going to want him to endorse their products now?
You could say that if David Gandy walked into that house, he's still going to book every job when he walks out, regardless of the way he acts.
Yeah, but I think David Gandy's slightly
above Bobby.
on a slightly different level to Bobby. No disrespect to Bobby, but David Gandy's pretty huge.
Yeah, of course, but I think if Bobby's booking the jobs and he's got the clientele that he uses that uses him already, I don't think that he hasn't acted that bad that he's going to be disrespected for it. Other than the Sweatgate thing.
Well, I think it might, because there is a certain tag that if you're a contestant on Big Brother, you can't read or write, you can't spell, so there is a tag.
You do get pigeonholed. Nicola, we didn't really know much about Lucien before he went into the house, so have you enjoyed getting to know him as a person?
I think there's two different answers, and not really. I don't think he's, you know, done much to make me think, oh, what a great guy. But I think he's been really entertaining in the house, because literally I've watched the show like that, cringing at his every word and all this dancing and all that. It's really made me cringe. But I think that, we needed him in there to cause this little stir. But no, I mean, he's not one of my favourites. I don't think he'll be in the final.
But Nicola, if you saw that in a club with your friends, you'd be disgusted. Like,
yeah, I am disgusted. I watch
You'd wanna
it.
slap him, wouldn't you?
I promise you, I watch it red face. Like, my husband keeps going to me, why are you blushing? I'm like, this is so embarrassing. It's like cringeworthy TV.
Oh, he is only 19 though, bless
everyone should
him.
stop saying that. I
He
never
still
used to do
needs
that
to-
at 19.
Yeah, but men, they're much younger mentally, aren't they? They don't know what they're doing. Jamie, Darren has made a lot of money from papping celebs.
Yeah.
So do you think he's going to enjoy his increased celebrity when he comes out of the house?
He's always wanted to be a celebrity, though. He's been on.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been on Sky News doing all the papers. If you go onto his website, the kind of behind-the-scenes version of his website, there are more photos of him bare-chested lying on a lion's rug like that than there are of any other celebrity. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the tables will turn on him and whether or not he's got any skeletons in his closet.
Oh, that's something. Now, Marina. Oh, you're Marina.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So Marina was a contestant on X Factor with Jedward.
That's right.
You were at boot camp with them.
I was,
And
yes.
you lived with them.
For about a week, yes.
Right, okay. So is the Jedward that you lived with
Yep.
very much the same as the Jedward that we're watching?
Do you know what? They are exactly the same. What you're seeing at the moment in the house is exactly how Jedward are. That is just them. They're fun-loving, they mean no harm. That is just the way they are. And they're so sweet, they're such lovely boys. I mean, when I first met them, it's actually Gemma and I, we were like in the queue at X Factor, and they came straight up to us, hi, I'm John, hi, I'm Edward. And they started doing...
Okay.
Okay. And they started doing all the choreography, like, you know, just and to Backstreet Boys, and instantly just broke into song of I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys. And it was class. But that's what they're like. They're just lovely boys.
I think you can tell they're lovely boys. That's why all of their housemates forgive them, and just kind of no matter what they've done, they are forgiven. Right, join us after the break for the latest news from the house. Plus, Jamie takes a trip inside the mind of Kerry Katona. You stay up to watch us because sleep is when the nightmares come. Here's all the news. Today at 9:53am, Amy and Lucian did their best to put last night behind them.
That was alright last night. I didn't forgot you, Dad.
What?
Did I forgot you?
Yeah.
About what?
Don't know, me and you.
Sorry.
It's alright, Lou. I'll let you off because I like you.
Stop it. Bless you.
Do you know what, right, Lucian went weird last night. I just get on really well with him, and yeah, we do have a bit of a flap, but Big Brother, that's what it is. But I think Lucian, I don't know, is he playing a game? Because he's an actor, is he acting? I don't know. I've never turned around to him and said to him, how do you actually feel about me? Because everyone's always around. But I really, really like him as a friend. There's nothing in it, Big Brother.
Oh, looks like Lucian's hit the dreaded friend zone. Also this morning, Kerry awoke to a birthday surprise from the housemates.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Check it out, Carrie. We're going to be a fish. Get over here, Carrie, and check out the fish sweet thing we made for you. It says, happy birthday, Carrie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bobby.
And look, it's got tail and everything.
It's your birthday
Look
card,
at the
you see.
detail. Look at the little zebras all around, all around. We know what to do with it, so we just like happy birthday.
Okay, hope you can eat it all.
Okay, look at the tail, okay.
Oh, just what every girl wishes for on her birthday, a giant fish made out of sweets. Forget the Chanel handbags, we don't want them, oh no. So on to 4:30 today, Big Brother gave the housemates the task of creating their very own pizza, but things didn't quite go to plan.
This pizza's fucked. Just keep it. Big Brother. Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! So much drama!
Oh, Amy's not too happy. I guess that means Lucian won't be stuffing her crust anytime soon. Oh, I know. And at 5:20pm this afternoon, it appeared that John hadn't paid attention to any of Bobby's shaving tips.
Don't cut yourself. Oh, what are you doing? I cut myself. Look. You're actually joking me. Yeah, I cut myself. Cool. You cut your lip. Because you're talking to me. Stop talking to me. What the hell? Just cut myself. I cut myself. Oh God, I cut myself. Literally just saying, don't cut yourself.
Oh, bless them. It's their first ever bust-up. I love it, but I do think you need to steer clear of shave until you at least grow some facial hair. Right, that is all the news, but who'll be making the headlines come Thursday? Here are the numbers you need to crown your winner.
For Amy to win, call 09016 1617 01. For Bobby to win, call 09016 1617 02. For Darren to win, call 09016 1617 03. For Jedward to win, call 09016 1617 04. For Kerry to win, call 09016 1617 05. For Lucian to win, call 09016 1617 06. For Paddy to win, call 09016 1617 07. Calls cost 36p from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary, and from mobiles will cost considerably more. For details and terms, go to channel5.com/bigbrother. Voting closes in Thursday's final.
Okay, so we're in the sweaty box for the poll results. Henry,
It's the cool box.
Disneyland Paris or Disney World Florida?
Is ooh la la, qu'est-ce que c'est? Je m'appelle, it's Disneyland, Florida.
Do you know that they're American in Florida?
Are they? Oh.
Not je m'appelle. So they want love, the people on the web.
They want love, but they're a little disappointed at Lucian's attempt at love. They think he's blown it.
The boy did give up too easy.
He's a doofus.
He is a doofus. So what's going on in the house tonight?
Tonight is Kerry's 400th birthday, 400 years old. And so they've the housemates had to throw a surprise party.
Okay.
And with alcohol imbibed, they decided to do a strip.
So they've got more alcohol. And who's stripped?
First, Jedward did a kind of a PG-13
Oh, here we go.
version.
We see it now. They're all stripping.
And then, then the gentleman did a more.
They're giving her an intimate dance.
Yeah, for the seniors. This one's definitely for the seniors.
It's very what was that movie called? Where all the men stripped.
Hot Boys.
It's a Hot Boys. No, not that kind of movie. What do you think I am? So have you enjoyed watching that?
I mean, I personally, I couldn't possibly comment.
We can see more of that online, though, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Henry, thank you so much. That's all we have time for today. Tune in tomorrow when I'll be joined by Big Brother veterans Rex, Lady Sov, Anthony Hutton and our resident psychologist Nikki Graham will all be here. But before we go, we'd also like to celebrate Kerry's birthday with Jamie reading a very special bedtime story.
Tonight I'll be reading from Kerry Katona's Too Much, Too Young. I was often broke and occasionally had to resort to desperate measures. One time I was doing a gig but needed some Tampax and had no money to buy any. No one would lend me anything and Mum had nothing to spare. I couldn't do the gig without the Tampax and I needed the cash I'd earned from the gig, so me and Mum sold Alfie, my mum's green parrot. I love Alfie. I used to sing Rocking Robin to him while he bobbed his head up and down in time, but it was him or me. We sold 700 quid's worth of parrot for 20 quid to Slippery Sid, a bloke we knew who bought and sold loads of dodgy stuff in Warrington. He probably sold him on for 700 quid, but what did I care? At least I could get back on stage and do my thing. Poor Alfie, it was such a shame. Mum was gutted. Happy birthday, Kerry. Good night.